Hello, and today we're interviewing Mr. Howarth.
How long have you been principal of JCG?
Well, hello Giselle. I've been principal since September 2008. So that is, I'm going to, in September, it will be my 13th year as principal. I've loved every single moment of it.
Which of the key values do you consider to be the most important?
That's a very good question. So we've got 4 values: aspire, acquire, excel, belong. I'm sure you know that already. But for me, and I think actually the majority of people at college, we talk about belong as the most important value, that sense of being part of a second family. And when you feel you belong to something, you relax, you're happy, you know you're cared for, and it just makes a lovely atmosphere and culture throughout the college. So for me, belong is the most important one. Which one would be for you, would you say, Taylor? Belong too? Yeah. Well, it's lovely when we belong to something, isn't it? You know, you feel part of it. And what our students think and the ideas the students have is so important to us. So we're all the time asking questions of our students about what their ideas are and how we can make this college even better.
What advice would you give to Year 7s who are worried about getting lost at JCG?
Oh, well, first of all, my first bit of advice, Giselle, is don't worry at all, because you are coming into a place that is so looking forward to seeing you, and I still get lost a little bit, and all you've got to do is ask someone and they will either direct you or take you there. But actually it's really easy to navigate around the school once you've got the hang of it. We go from north to south, and all the areas are very well signed, and so there's signposts everywhere. But if you get lost, you simply ask someone and they will either guide you there, take you there themselves, or point you in the right direction. But don't be worried at all. There's nothing to worry about joining JCG. So it's so exciting.
If JCG were to have an additional key value, what would it be?
Wow. That's a great question. I think it wouldn't ring, so you would have aspire, inquire, excel, belong, and integrity, I would think. So for me, integrity means making the right decision, even though it could be the hard decision, rather than the easy decision. So it's always trying to make a good decision, yeah, and trying to always be honest in how you behave and the things you say, and if you say you're going to do something, you do it, you know. And sometimes in life we get asked to do things that we feel a bit awkward about, and Tommy's tell us that this isn't the right thing to do, and I think that's what integrity is. It's saying, actually, this is not the right thing to do, so I'm going to take the hard decision here and do what I think is the right thing to do. So I would think integrity. Can I ask you, what do you think would be a good 5th value for JCG to be?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah. Taylor?
No.
We spent a lot of time thinking about our values, and we've put a video up on JCG TV for all our new students where Rosie, Emily and Lily and I talk about each value in turn, what they mean for us. So if you haven't seen that, I would suggest you go and watch it.
How many houses are there, and are you in a house?
There are 6 houses at JCG, and no, I am not in a house. I've got to be impartial. I can't be biased in any particular way. And so my role is to support all the houses. But if you're in Ingalls or Nightingale or Austin Bartlett or Curie Friar or Garrett Anderson, you know, you've got to be, I've missed one there. Cavell, thank you very much. Is that your house?
It's my mum's house.
Oh, it's your mum's house. Okay, so you're already rooting for Cavell. My role is to support each of them. But if you're in one of those houses, you only support your house, you know, and there's quite a strong rivalry between houses. A lovely rivalry, but it is. If you're in Cavell, you're in Cavell for life.
If you were giving the new Year 7s advice as how to prepare emotionally for the transition to a much larger school from their primary, what would it be?
Okay, again, these are incredibly good questions from both you, Taylor and Giselle. I think to try and talk about any concerns that you have. Yeah. So if you're worried about anything, try and articulate it, talk about it. Talk about it with your parents or contact us and we can speak with you about it. And that's now, or when we welcome you on the 2nd and 3rd of July for your transition. We're so excited for that. Or even over the summer holiday. And most of the I think people will be concerned about, will I get lost? But also, will I make friends? And my experience is that people make friends very quickly with people that they've never met before, they don't know, and yet after a few days, it's your new best friend. So I think talk about any concerns you have, first of all. Remember that JCG is a college that really does care for you, and we are so interested in how you're feeling and what you're thinking, and that really matters to us. So you're coming into an environment that I would say is not strict. We don't have a lot of rules, we don't have detentions because we don't need them, and everyone just gets along. And so, that's what I would say first. If you've got any concerns, talk about it, and that helps. Just bring it out, because I think when you worry, the problem tends to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas if you speak about it, you bring it back down to size. That's the first thing. The second thing is on transition days, make every opportunity to get to know people in your form. And then you can contact them over the summer, and you can perhaps meet them on the beach or go for a cycle ride, or maybe even if you've got to know them quite well, your parents could allow them to come and have a sleepover, those sort of things. So you've got some friends that you're really excited about meeting, and they've come from different schools for September. So September is something to be really excited for. Yeah. So talk about it, get to know everybody. And I think the third thing is to start thinking about how you might need to organise yourselves. Yeah? What do I need? So have I got a desk in my room? Have I got my things? And then read all the information with your parents that we send to you. Because all that information probably answers every question that you may have. So if you read all that information, and then you will feel organised. And I know when I feel organised, I feel so much better. When I feel disorganised, that's when I start to worry. So talk about how you're feeling, make lots of friends, get to know lots of people, and read all the information we send to you so you feel organised.
Who founded JCT?
Right. So this is a history question, Giselle, a history test. So in 1879, so that's 141 years ago, a group of visionary people who belonged to the local Methodist church here in Jersey came together and said, we think Jersey should have a school for girls. Because up to then there'd been a school for boys, that's called Victoria College, but there hadn't been a school for girls. And so these people, 141 years ago, said this wasn't right. Girls should be educated to the highest of standards. And so they came together in a little room behind St Helier Methodist Centre in Halkett Place, and they decided as a group they were going to found Jersey College for Girls. And it started as a really small school in a house where the ambulance station is now. If you think in Rouge-Bouillon, near the ambulance station, there was a house there, and that was the first site of Jersey College for Girls. It was really small, but then it grew the next year, and it grew the year after that. And within a couple of years, it had, I think, nearly 90 students. So it was quite popular. And the first head teacher was a wonderful lady called Elsie Roberts, and we've got a photograph of her in our reception, and she became Lady Principal, that was her title, Lady Principal, at the age of 28. Can you imagine being principal of a school at the age of 28? And she was a most remarkable woman. Her and her sister and a number of other staff really started the school, and it just grew and grew and grew and became very popular. And as an inspector came over from the UK, and he said this was, Jersey College for Girls was one of only 5 all-girls schools in the whole of the British Isles in 1880. And he said the quality of education is outstanding. We've tried to keep it like that ever since. So the school's been going for 140 years now. And in the dome, there's a board which has the name of all the principals since 1880. But Elsie Roberts and her sister were the people who really, I would say, founded the college. And that's why we've named one of our buildings after Miss Roberts. So that we have Roberts, and then we have Barton. That's named after another principal. And then we have Cheshire, Miss Cheshire. She was another principal. So these people who were remarkable 140 years ago, we still remember and celebrate today. And that decade, 1880 to 1890, was so important for girls' education across the British Isles. We saw all-girls schools springing up all over the place, because up until then, it wasn't really deemed essential for girls to get a good education. And we can't believe that now, but back then, that's what they thought. But we're still challenging stereotypes and prejudice today, and we want you to be remarkable young women who will go into the world and make it an even better place, and that's our job, to help you have the confidence and the abilities to do that.
When the coronavirus pandemic lockdown is relaxed further and everyone returns to school full time, do you think GCG TV will continue?
I hope so. I think it's a huge amount of effort to do JCG TV. I think a couple of our teachers have done a posting every single day. So Mr. Vibert has done Vibes, Daily Vibes, and I'm not sure I can ask him to keep doing that for eternity. I'm not sure he'd want to do that. And Mr. Milner has been doing a poem for the day, and that's been beautiful, I know, but I'm not sure I can ask him to do that for eternity. But it's been lovely. Have you enjoyed JCG TV? Yeah? And I've loved it, and so many students and parents and ex-students, which has been lovely, have said they just love tuning in every day. And I think as we set JCG TV up right at the beginning of the lockdown to be together when we can't be together. And I hope it's done that. But we're going to be together again very, very soon. And so what I think JCG TV will move is more of an opportunity for us to show the world and show our parents and the Jersey all the incredible things that they're doing. So we do make lots of videos anyway, but now we've got this great YouTube channel that we can just post it up there for everyone to see. So I think it may well continue, I hope it will, but probably not on a daily basis, because we run a school and we're not a TV station yet. But have you enjoyed watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any favourite videos that you've thought about? You've seen?
I saw the 2016 Leavers.
You see things like that. We do. Our Leavers videos are really important. The staff come together and put something very special for our students, and so it's nice to show those. And also what I loved is when we put our Leavers videos on, I remember students and teachers that are no longer here, and I think I've got very happy memories of them. So it's been a lovely thing to have. So I'm glad you've been enjoying it, but we will continue it, but probably not on a daily basis.
When you were a student, what was your favourite subject?
Well, I grew up in Nottingham, and I went to a very different school than the school I'm at now, or the school that was JCG. But I had a wonderful English teacher, and I think the great thing about being a teacher is that you can open up a whole new world for a student that they didn't even realise was there. And that's called being inspired. And so I loved English literature, and I studied it at university. I did a master's in English literature, And then I started teaching English literature. And whilst I taught a number of other subjects, including drama and PSHE, English literature is still my core love. I love reading, and I love sharing the wonderful enjoyment of reading with students. What's your favourite subject, is that?
I really enjoy art.
Art, that's a beautiful subject too, isn't it? Have you been doing lots of art during the lockdown? I think lots of people have been doing really creative things, haven't they? And Taylor, what's your favourite subject?
I have 3.
Oh, go on then.
English, maths and science.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Are you aware of the word polymath?
No.
Okay, well, what polymath is means you enjoy doing lots of things. You're a polymath. Poly means many, as opposed to uni, which means singular. And so we hope our students are polymaths. And our curriculum is designed to give students a wide range of interests and knowledge, and so you can find that little bit of interest for your future life. It's back to you, Taylor.
What is the most frequently asked question by the new Year 7s and the answer you give?
Frequently asked question. Do we serve chips? Is a frequently asked question, though that's probably not the sort of answer you were expecting. But we've got a wonderful chef and a wonderful kitchen staff, and we do wonderful food every day. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's very healthy, and Friday it's chips day, plus other things. So that's what Year 7s tend to ask, or all students tend to ask, and staff. What's the other question is, will I make friends? Yeah, I think that's a question that Year 7s tend to ask internally. They may not always ask us internally. And the other question they ask is, how do I become a prefect? Yeah, so they're thinking ahead for 7 years' time, because they see the student leadership team, the head girls and the house captains and the sport captains and eco and drama and music captains and prefects, and they see these girls and they're great role models for our students, and they're responsible for doing some wonderful things around college and making the college what it is. And so our younger students aspire to roles like that, to give back and serve the college. So there's a couple of questions. Yeah. I hope students don't ask me anything about calculus or algebra. I would ask them to go and ask somebody else those questions.
Are Year 7s allowed to take part in the annual drama productions?
That's a really good question. Well, this year, we probably, in previous years, our drama department, who put on the most amazing productions every year, tend to start auditioning in the summer of the before you arrive in September. So it tends to be Year 8 and above. But this year, because of the lockdown, due to the coronavirus, we haven't started doing those auditions yet. So I think our drama department would be very excited to get as many people who are interested involved in productions. I also know that there's a house drama every year, and Year 7s are involved in that. And that's each house puts on a play. That's always very, very good. And there's a great drama club as well every week. So if you love drama, there's lots of opportunity. And don't forget, every week you have a drama lesson as well. So, and this is probably different to maybe what you've experienced in primary school. You have specific lessons with specific teachers who are brilliant at what they do, whether that's maths or art or drama or music or design technology or food and nutrition or physics, chemistry, biology. These are specialists in their area, so you're going to be having very wonderful lessons, I hope.
How would you encourage the new Year 7s to prepare to get back into a more normal learning routine?
Okay, well, I think the fact that you're going into school as normal from next week, so this video is being recorded on Thursday the 18th of June. So next week, I think all primary schools will be getting back to normal, and I think that will be great preparation because it'll help you get up in the morning and not have lions, and it will help you get your bag ready and be used to being back in the school environment. And I know you must be so excited about going back to school, and I'm sure your parents are excited about you going back to school as well, and I think that will help. So just getting into the rhythm of getting up and going to school will help.
What happens if you're late to class?
Well, I think in the first couple of weeks for year 7s, it's probably going to be the case that on some occasions you may be late for class, okay? And that's because you've misjudged how long it takes to get from one room to another, because you're not staying in the same classroom like you do at primary school. You're moving around the campus, and some areas it takes quite a long while to get there. So if you've got sport at our sports centre, and then you've got geography at the top of our Roberts building, that would take you a good 5 to 8 minutes to go from one to the other. So you'll be doing lots of walking and you'll be doing lots of climbing of stairs. Don't worry, you'll get your 10,000 steps a day, no problem at all. You'll be fit as fiddles. And if you're late, it's just about getting into the routine of how long does it take me to get there, and you'll learn very quickly, and your teachers are very, very understanding. Yeah. What we don't want you to do is get into is dawdling and hanging around chatting when you know you should be somewhere.
What efforts will be made to assist students on catching up with the curriculum?
Okay, now we realise that you've missed effectively a term of your learning. And we are very serious about getting you back up to speed as quickly as possible. And so a lot of our time in year 7 will be going over things that you may have done, and perhaps have done at home but not done in school. But I'm sure your teachers in your primary schools have been absolutely brilliant in supporting you from home and providing work on Loom or Seesaw or whatever tool that they've been using. So I think the students may not be missing as much learning as they might imagine if you have been working at home. But we are here to help you. And you remember, you've got 7 years with us, yes? You won't be leaving us until you're 18. So I absolutely guarantee you we will do all we can to enable you to feel confident that you are at the level you should be. Very, very quickly indeed.
What are the consequences if you have not been able to complete your homework?
Well, what we say is for homework, is don't worry about homework. Homework is designed to help you get into the rhythm of doing a little bit of independent study on your own at home. Because as you get older, you go into GCSE years and then to A-level years, the amount of work that you'll be expected to do on your own sounds huge. So if you're a year 12 or year 13 student, you will be doing 15 hours of home study a week. Now that sounds enormous, doesn't it? But when you're in year 13 or year 12, it isn't big at all. It's because we prepared you every year. So in year 7, we will give you little bits of homework. And then what we say is the homework is designed to be 30 minutes long, let's say. And at the end of that 30 minutes, if you're still not finished, just stop and then say to the teacher, this is what I've completed after 30 minutes. Yeah. Some people need a bit more time, but also what we're trying to do is not give you open-ended tasks that you don't know when you've finished. So if it's building a medieval castle out of matchsticks, when do you finish that? You could carry on for years. So we try not to give you open-ended tasks, but we give you tasks that that has a definite end. But we don't want you to worry. And also, if you or your parents are worried about you spending too long on homework, all we ask is you let us know, and then we can support you and guide you. Because it might be that the technique you're using isn't the best technique for you.
How many students will there be in the new year 7?
In year 7, we have 100 students. So we're looking forward to working with 100 students. in a couple of weeks' time for transition, and then in September. So, yeah, that's a very easy question. 100 students, Taylor.
Which clubs and activities are available at lunch?
Many. I'm not going to list them now because they will be put on our website. So every term we do a clubs and then extracurricular activities. But that covers music, sport, art, drama, science, a whole range of things that you can do. Politics, philosophy, media. We have a wonderful media club for Year 7s. So there's a whole range of things that you can do, both lunchtime and after school. And that's also a really good way of getting to know different teachers, getting to go to different places at the college, and getting to know different students from different year groups. So please do get involved in extracurricular. I know our students like to sit and chat at lunchtime, which is lovely, but also make the most of every opportunity you have. But please take a look at our website in September, and they're all on there, so you can choose which ones you want to do. Is there any particular club that you'd like to join?
Probably the art and science.
Good. And is there a club that we may not have, but you would like us to have? Taylor, is it?
Dancing if there is one, and science.
Okay. I know we have a trampolining club, and we have a gymnastics club, and we have a climbing club, but there's no reason why we can't have a dancing club. So many of our students dance, and that's the sort of thing that could be led by some of our older students. That'd be lovely. Good.
What food item do you consider to be the best in the canteen?
Okay, this is a completely subjective choice, and so what food item do I think is the best item? I have to say, I choose to have smoked salmon sandwiches every day. I think fish is good, it's got omega-3 oils in, it's good for the brain. I do need to lose a bit of weight, so that helps too. But that's my personal choice. But I don't know, if you ask anybody, they will tell you something different. So whether it's a wrap or a salad or the wonderful hot food we have every day. I do love it when our chef does a nice roast. So I might deviate from my daily smoked salmon sandwich and have roast lamb. But that's very rare, Taylor, that's not every day.
And what's your favourite thing about JCG?
The favourite thing about JCG are the students. The students make this college, the staff make this college, and I think the fact that we work together so completely as a single team is brilliant. There is no division between students and staff. We're very much one community, and the thing I love about JCG is I'm very, very relaxed here. It's a very calm, very happy place. And I love it when visitors come in from outside and they say, "Oh, there's such a special atmosphere in this place." And that's what I treasure about this college. The students call it their second home, and I think that tells you everything that you need to know about JCG.
It's like that one.
Is that one too?
Yeah.
Is that the end of your questions?
Yeah.
Giselle, do you have any more questions? Wow, well, thank you for incredible questions. I think you've prepared so brilliantly for this. I've probably been completely inadequate in my answers, but I hope you've got a sense of the college. Is there anything that you haven't asked that you'd like to ask? Can I ask you a few questions? Can I turn the tables? Yeah? So I'll ask you the same question, so you see what you say. What are you looking forward to most, Taylor?
I'm looking forward to meeting lots of new people and doing like more different things like clubs and different like subjects at school.
Great, that's wonderful. And Giselle, what are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to the new subjects that we can learn, and
Perhaps do some science experiments.
Yeah, looking forward to using the lab.
the science laboratories.
Yeah.
And I also think the students love doing experiments, in chemistry and biology and physics, and also using the machines in design technology, the saws and the drills and the files and the laser printers to become young engineers, and these are things that we know you may have not had experience of before, and it's wonderful to see you use equipment for the first time and see that it sort of turns on dreams inside you that you think, gosh, I'm quite loving this, I might become an engineer. So that's what I like, seeing you learn things about yourself, watching you develop as a person in your own right and what you can do for the world. And my final question is, if there was one thing, if you had a magic wand, what would you like us to have at JCG? Some students, when asked on this, they talk about having a slide instead of stairs, which I think is just lazy. But anyway, is there anything that you'd like to?
Maybe like a hoverboard or something, so I don't have to walk.
A hoverboard. Okay, that's a great idea. A hoverboard, yeah. Okay. Or escalators,
Yes.
like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the amazing glass escalator. Okay, fine. We'll have a think about that, Giselle. And Taylor?
I'm not sure.
Do you know what I would love to have? And I've always thought about this. I haven't done anything about it. I'd love us to have a college dog. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm not sure we can, but I love the idea of it, because one of our counsellors, we've got two fantastic counsellors, and one of our counsellors called Jan, she has a dog that she brings in called Peggy, and she's called Peggy because she's only got 3 legs, but everyone loves Peggy, and Peggy loves everyone else. And I think having a college dog would be a rather lovely thing to have. And when you arrive here in September, if you look at the photos of the principals up the staircase, one of them has a dog sitting on her knee, and it was the job of the students to take the dog for a walk every day. So that was about 100 years ago, and I think it's probably time that we perhaps bring that tradition back. Well, it's been lovely. Thank you so much for interviewing me. I hope I've been okay. You've been brilliant interviewers. BBC will be very envious of your skills. And I hope everyone enjoys watching this. Bye-bye.